Hey everyone, welcome to the Leader's Edge, your path to personal and leadership growth. I'm your host, Steve Steele, alongside my co-host and partner in leadership, Erlita de Kumos. As certified speakers, coaches, and corporate facilitators, we're dedicated to bringing you powerful principles to fuel your leadership journey and personal growth. Now, whether you're an entrepreneur just starting out, or a new leader taking the reins, or a seasoned pro looking to refine your skills, this show is for you. We'll be diving deep into personal growth strategies to help you strengthen your mindset and leadership abilities. But before we jump in, a huge shout out goes all to our amazing listeners. Thank you so much for joining us each and every week. We wouldn't be here without your incredible support. Now, let's get down to business and help you unlock your full potential. Hey, the beautiful Erlita partner, how are you doing today?
Good morning, handsome Mr. Steele. I got another compliment. That's a plus point.
Thank you.
Hello.
I'll pay you next week. That's okay.
You won't be here next week.
That's right.
Now we just slipped. Anyway, this is your co-host, Ernie de Kumos. I'm doing great, partner. How are you doing this morning? I'm very excited about our show today.
Oh my gosh, yes. Today is going to be a wonderful day. Ernie, when we first looked at this guest and started talking about this guest and had a discovery call with this guest, I was just simply amazed at all the amazing things that's taken place in this person's life. And so we're going to talk about a lot of those things today. So tell us a little bit about her before we get started.
It would be my great pleasure. Actually, I want to take this moment really quick because this amazing woman is actually my kababayan. To all the Filipinos listening and watching the live, kababayan means, we come from the same country. Mm-hmm. She is from the Philippines, which is why I'm very excited. But our guest this morning transforms women entrepreneurs for best kept secrets into magnetic brands. As founder and CEO of Lead Her Strategy Company, she helps coaches, healers, and wellness professionals stand out with messaging that moves people to action. After 20 plus years in business and rebuilding her life after losing everything to betrayal, she discovered a hard truth. Brilliance means nothing if no one knows about it. Now she empowers women to articulate their expertise with clarity that attracts opportunity. Blending strategy with soulful authenticity, she believes the best brands are built on who you truly are. A second degree black belt, wife of 29 years, mom of 3, and proud grandma, she embodies both warrior and nurturer. Please help me welcome to the stage Miss Wonderful Morrison. Yes, her name is Wonderful Morrison.
Wonderful.
Hello.
Oh, great. Love to have you on the show today. My gosh, you look absolutely beautiful. Those red glasses and that black dress just pop. Just beautiful.
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you.
Wow. 21 years old, you had your first business.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
It happened. I am a believer of divine agendas and appointments and interventions. And yes, that is how it came to us. It landed in our lap, as people would say about.
Wow, it's amazing. Well, our show today, Wonderful, is about, the title of the show is From Betrayal to Breakthrough. And it's really the power of being, becoming, and really believing in yourself, right? So what happened? Where's the betrayal piece? Tell us a little bit about your story, where it takes place and how things became and where you've brought you to today. Tell us a little bit about it.
So like you said, my husband and I were in our early 20s when a business came to our space, and we were elated. When you're 21 years old, you're just like, who needs sleep? We were going to school full time. And then I was pregnant at the same time. And we were, yes. And so, and this was in the 90s, before any kind of cell phones. I mean, we still had a, phone on the wall and all of that good stuff. So anyhow, we got into this business, and we were gifted through many channels, but one of his uncles lent us the money. And an uncle we didn't think had that kind of money, and he surprised us. It It wasn't a let's go ask him, let's give him a proposal. I was just sitting underneath a tree crying one day on his property, and he asked me what I was doing, and I said, I told him everything. We got this opportunity, but no banks will trust us. How can they not trust these amazing 21-year-olds? Out of his job for 6 months. And he walks away, and he comes back as we were leaving, and he hands me a check. Now, I just dated myself. And for you all who don't know what a check is, it's a piece of paper that translates into money.
Yes.
And then you can put any number on it, and all it requires is your signature. And he gave us the money in full, and he's looked at me and he said, I believe in the two of you, but I want this money back in 5 years. We were able to pay it back in 4.5. So my husband and I just decided, all right, we're going to put all of us in it. And we built it. And 20 years later, we celebrated our 20th anniversary, and we had made our first $1 million in our 30s. We raised our 3 children. Neither of us worked another job. It was a very fruitful endeavor. We loved it. And both my husband and I are like ambitiously insane, right? So we are doing all the things because we didn't even hire our first like employee until 10 years later. And then we built another business, and we just kept building on top of those businesses. Well, in 2018, that disappeared. My husband and I had gotten into some physical illnesses. I was diagnosed with a hyperthyroid problem, which had I waited 2 more weeks, I would have died from a heart attack because my heart rate was so high. It's hyper. I thought I was just sweating a lot. I thought, I'm just working out a ton, but I couldn't even swallow water without choking. Wow. So I went to the doctor finally one day because I knew something was wrong. When something's wrong, you can't deny it. And he was having heart murmurs. So,
at the same time.
For that age.
Yeah, I'm telling you, God has a way of getting your attention. Yes. I'm pretty sure he'd been whispering to us for a good couple of years before this happened, but neither of us were listening. And then this happened. And a family friend who I considered a niece, she is just a beautiful human that at the time that she had grown up with us. She knew the ropes. My children trusted her, and she offered to come help. She's like, I'll come help. She had finished college. She was living in another state. She was going to fly back up. And I thought, wow, look at this. Right in the nick of time where we didn't know what we were going to do because our kids were still too young to operate the business fully. Right. And so it felt like a blessing at the time. But how you have that intuitious nudge inside you that kind of is like, I was never a really good listener with that. And I want to say this really clearly. That nudge is real, and we need to pay attention to it. And I think that's how God has been whispering to me for a long time. I just wasn't listening because I was really good at praying, but wasn't very good at listening. So she comes and she helps us, and I'm just like, oh, thank God I could focus on my health, and all the things. And my middle daughter was getting married, and she was expecting. So there were so many things that were happening that were beautiful, and also like a shift, right? Yeah. A change.
Good word.
Right. And then one day, it was a Wednesday. I'll never forget it. It looked kind of like this. It was a sunny Wednesday. I went to the bank. Now, we've been banking at this bank for 20 years. So we knew most everybody in there, right? I walk in, and the branch manager comes up, and she's like, hey, what are you doing here? I haven't seen you in a while. She knew that we were going through some changes and illness. And I said, oh, I didn't think anything of it, but it was kind of weird that she asked me what I was doing there. And I said, I just updated her on all the things. And she said, so what are you doing here? I said, well, I'm here to bank. I'm here to get money, and I'm here. And she's like, oh, okay. Do you have a separate account? And I thought, what do you mean? And I said, okay, first let's get clear. What account? What are you talking about? She goes, and she recognized something was wrong that I didn't know. And she said, oh, well, she came in last week and closed the account. And I said, wait, what?
Oh.
Now, mind you, we had been slowly integrating her into all the business
Sure.
things. Like
Sure.
we would bring her when we would do banking things and,
Mhm.
like the businesses, all of the things. So it wasn't weird for her to come in and do that.
Right.
But it was really, right? So she says, yeah, she came in and closed the account. She thought, I was trying to talk her into, we'd had this relationship for 20 years, but I figured she's the next generation and would prefer something different. I was like, I didn't even know how to respond. I didn't scream. I didn't yell. I just was like, oh, okay. I started walking back to the, and I'm texting her, right? Like, hey, what's up? I'm at the bank. The account's closed. Did you tell us about this? Did we have this conversation? I wasn't sure if it was just me.
Mhm.
So then I go to our physical building. We had a brick and mortar building. And we had a brick and mortar business. And I went to the building and my key didn't work. I couldn't, like the key wouldn't fit. And I thought, well, maybe it's the back door. Maybe I don't have the right keys. Like my brain was trying so hard to reason out what my heart knew. My heart knew something was wrong. So I go to the back door, doesn't work. I'm like, what is going on? So now I'm calling her. She's not answering my text. She's not picking up my phone. There is nothing, right? So I attempt to like try to break that door.
Breaking into your own building.
Yeah. And I just decide, you know what? I'm going to just walk away. I'm going to drive home and then we'll square this all up. Maybe she forgot to tell us, give us the new keys, my brain just went into like a bajillion reasons why. And so I was sitting I pull up in front of my house and I look at my house and I just knew like there was this doom and gloom feeling inside me. I just knew something was wrong and I just started to cry. This song came on, Even If. I don't know, I can't remember who sings it, but it's a band, it's a Christian band. And it came on and I just started crying because I'm like, oh my gosh, is this a message to me that even if God can't move the mountains or he can't do the things he could do for me, I'm going to be okay. And I just cried. I just sat in the car and just cried and cried and cried. I don't know for how long. But then the truth came out, right? The business was gone. She had taken it. And then she took it a step further by emailing our 20 years worth of database to let them know that we were awful humans, our children are awful humans, that we deserve to never be spoken to, just all the slander you can possibly imagine.
And this is your niece?
Yeah.
Family member. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's crazy.
It is crazy. Wow. It blows my mind.
Yeah.
And then it did not end there, right? There's another adversity that you faced when you went into online business. Is that correct?
Well, no, I just was so heartbroken. So at this point, the business is gone. And the upside is we had learned business from really incredible mentors early on that our other businesses weren't touched by that. It just happened to be our main profitable income earning business, right?
Yes.
And it was our baby that that check that we had gotten 20 years ago from his uncle started that business. So we had a lot of identity tied to it. But so at this point we're so frazzled and all of these legal things were coming up. I mean, it was like a storm, like a tsunami. It wasn't a warning. You know how you get warnings like, if this happens, evacuate here. No, it actually happened. And it was quite blindsiding. And I decided at that time, like, I don't know, months later, maybe a year later, because we had to decide whether we wanted to take it to court or not. And it just, there was so much that went into it. And I didn't have the capacity emotionally because I was still sick. Mind you, my goiter was so large that I had to go in every week to make sure that it wasn't cancerous. I mean, I had doctor appointments after my husband was having like mini heart attack. It was a lot.
Oh,
My
just
our
the stress
kids.
caused by that.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
And just the additional, because there's so much tied to it, right? Our emotions, our identity. So I decided I'm going to, and my son was a junior in high school, or a senior in high school. My oldest daughter was in college in another state, and my other daughter was pregnant. So time had lapsed, right? There's all these time frames. I'm just giving you a short version of it condensed together. And so anyhow, I decided I'm just going to drink a lot of alcohol and then like get a job at a warehouse where I don't have to see anybody. I was just really heartbroken. I just didn't want to interact. And I was also like, gosh, if I go out there, I'm going to run into, who knows who I run into.
Right.
I live in a
Yeah.
neighborhood in which my business is in, and they're going to ask me questions, and then I'm going to have to, and I'm not that kind of, excuse my language, shit talker, you know?
Yes.
I am more of like a joking, let's make fun, let's have fun kind.
Mhm.
And
Yes,
I
yes.
just didn't want to involve myself in those conversations out in the streets. So I wanted to hide out. I wanted to hide out and just be completely
Invisible.
Yes, there you go. Perfect. Right. I just wanted to be invisible. And I didn't know for how long. I didn't even really care. I just
Right.
didn't.
Mm.
So that's
Yes.
where that, but then another story unfolds, as it is with the way life works. Because, you know, I'm in
Yes.
my 40s at this point. I'm 40. It was actually my 45th birthday when this happened. And
Wow.
then I decided, okay, I'm going to just do this. But I couldn't get a job, you guys. No warehouse would hire me. Like, come on, right? I create this resume from nothing because I hadn't worked since I was 20 years old. Like
Yeah.
I was just
Yes.
running a business. So I create this in one of my drinking stupors, which is funny also because I'm not a really good drinker. Because I don't do it well, sad. I drink when I'm happy. So I'm like, oh, this is terrible. So I decided I'm going to do a resume. I haven't done one in a long time. So I just Google it and then I just make stuff up. That's probably why they did it. And then I put it into LinkedIn or no, Indeed. And then I just wait to see what happens, right? To see if I'm going to get this warehouse job. But I'm kind of moseying around. And I get these phone calls from friends, women friends that I had known throughout the years in business. And they were just asking me a bunch of questions like, hey, what if you were doing this business, what would you do? And
Oh, I think she froze.
We froze. Yeah, you froze a little bit there. That is a crazy story, Ernlita. I mean, my goodness.
I don't. How do you even respond to when a family member
I know.
has
Yeah.
the intention to help you end up betraying you and actually, going over, taking over your own business? But I would like to take this opportunity, partner, to take us to the commercial.
Yeah, that'd be great.
We will take a quick break. Wonderful just actually shared her story of starting the business at a very young age and building it to a point wherein it became very sustainable just for it to be taken away by a family member. When we return, we will dive deeper into the other story that unfolded after this took place. We will be right back to The Leader's Edge.
Do you want to grow a team of transformational leaders who can take your organization to the next level? Do you want to attract, retain, and develop top talent? Do you want to leverage generational insights and improve your employees' communication, interpersonal, and productivity skills? If your answer is yes to any or all of these, you are in the right place. Steve Steele and Ernalita DeCumos, hosts of The Leader's Edge, are seasoned coaches and facilitators with Maxwell Leadership Team. They will leverage leadership content, tools, and resources to help turn your leaders into transformational leaders with influence and impact, so everyone wins. This highly effective program not only provides the knowledge and skills necessary to lead, coach, and communicate more effectively, but Steve and Ernie have resources available to impact others throughout your organization so that everyone can be led well. So contact us at pathtoleadersedge@gmail.com. And let Steve and Ernie help grow your organization by creating an influence in which others want to engage.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Leader's Edge. I'm Steve Steele with my co-host Ernie Kumos and our special guest today, Wonderful Morrison. Did we get Wonderful back? Is she back yet, Ernie?
Not yet. She's not back. I think the internet did not cooperate today. But what we can do is just, we can go over her story, partner. I know we kind of jumped in earlier, but I know during the content build, she was sharing that, the family member stole the business. Oh, I'm curious, partner. What would you do if that happens to you?
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, first of all, I can't imagine just going into the bank and wanting to get to my account and someone asking me, oh my, there she is. She's back.
I'm back.
We were just talking a little bit about we were just kind of going back over what we talked about in the first segment there, Wonderful. And we were kind of, I was going to say, Ernie asked me, what would I do, partner, if something happened to me where someone had taken my business? And I told her, I can't imagine going to the bank and being just totally wiped out, not even having an account. I can't imagine going to my brick and mortar, not being able to get in the door. I mean, that just blows my mind. That blows my freaking mind. But before we left for break, though, Wonderful, you were telling us a little bit about another situation that was getting ready to start up. Another, I guess, right?
Yeah, sort of like the next chapter, I guess.
Yeah, the next chapter. Right? Exactly.
So I was getting these phone calls and emails from friends, and I don't know like in all the years, I've never really gotten a lot of questions about, hey, how would you do business if you were doing this? So now in hindsight, I'm thinking, of course, divine intervention, right? Because it had never happened before. So I just started talking to my friends about like, oh, I would do this if I was running this business. I would do this if I was running. I was a lot of the back end in our business. My husband was a front facing guy and I was always the back end. And it worked out well because I was raising the 3 kids at home.
Sure.
And, it just, and even then there was no, the computer thing didn't happen until later, and then it was dial-up. Do y'all remember it? I'm really
yes. I can still hear the sound of the internet dialing.
Yes,
right.
Yeah.
We're aging ourselves.
Sound like fax machine or something. Yeah, I know. Crazy.
Yeah. So and then one day my son's walking by and he goes, so is this what you do now? You talk on the phone and tell people stuff? And I was like, I don't know. Is this what I do now? I didn't know. I didn't know it was a business. I didn't know that it was anything. And at the time, the most popular emerging sector was life coaching. So that's what I thought it was. And I tried that route. And, shout out to coaches, life coaches. I give you kudos. That is not for people like myself. I get coaching, but I don't do the coaching in that sense. I'm very achievement oriented, goal oriented. I like tasks. I like a proper setting of this is the problem. This is how we're going to get there. And coaching driven differently, right?
Yeah.
It's talking through situations. And so anyhow, I decided I was going to start doing some business coaching and some business consulting. And then I had an idea. I was going to work with men and I was going to work with brick and mortar. That was my goal. I think this part of my life was shaping me into, it's not about what I want. It's not about what I think I'm good at. It's not about my comfort zone.
Yes.
It's completely about this whole arena of the whispers, the whispers that I'm pretty sure I was getting, but I wasn't.
Yes.
And then one day I was driving home from an event with a group of women, and I just started having this like yelling match with God on the road. Like, why is this so hard? Why is everything falling apart? Why? I've done nothing. I'm pretty sure y'all know those conversations are like, I've been nothing but good. Why am I the one?
Why is this happening to me?
Yeah. And I just kept yelling into the abyss and freaking out until I calmed down. And finally I said, okay, I surrender. I'm going to do it your way. I'm going to do it your way. And if it does not work out, see, I knew I was right.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I go, yeah. So the surrender just on a drive. And I find myself in cars during these kind of monumental experiences. And I was driving and I just said, okay. So I went home and I told my husband and he said, let's do this. Let's do that. Let's fast. And I haven't fasted in a long time. It was part of my, religion. I know what that means. I know what it is. I know what it means to, be in the depth of prayer when you're doing that. I still want to do it though. I'm like, no, I'm already upset. Why are we doing this? But then I reminded myself, I just made this whole declaration of, okay, I'm going to surrender. I'm going to do it your way. So I decided to fast for 3 days. We decided to fast for 3 days. And that first day was really hard. It was really, really difficult. And then by the end of that first day, I was like, okay, I get it. I gotta embrace my pain. I have to embrace my suffering, which I think is what we're all trying not to do.
Yes.
We're all trying to escape the pain. We're all trying to escape the suffering. We're all like, I've lived this long with putting it on the back burner. I don't want to have to look at it in my later years. Right. But that's what happened. So we fasted. And then I honest to God, I gave all trust. And I know that a lot of people are like, yeah, me too. I trust universe. I trust God. No. Like I gave it all. Like I'm an all in kind of person. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to go all in. Yep. And I was just like, all right, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
And then people just was coming to me. Like, and then it was a particular industry that kept coming to me, right? Healers and coaches, which by the way, I knew nothing about. I don't know what healers do. I don't know. I didn't even know what Reiki was. I didn't know what energy healing is. I don't know any of that. And I'm thinking, why an arena I have any kind of data information, or I can't look in the recess of my brain going, oh yeah, blah, 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 that's this. Yeah. And I kept trying to get out of it. I'm going to work with these people, right? I would go network at different stages.
I love that. We all do that. And I love that.
Right. And but then it just kept happening. So I again surrendered. Like there's so many layers of surrender, y'all. And especially I think if you are and I don't know if this is crass or offensive to anyone, and that's not what my intention is, but because I've always had this really high level of ambition and drive, I'm a very motivated person. I'm really like, if there was an Olympics for getting things done, I'd probably be in the top 3, pretty much. I don't know if I'd get gold all the time because I have some friends that are like, I accomplished it before you thought it. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I didn't know how to take a breath and listen to their spaces. I just wanted to fix their business, right? Because I knew what the holes were. But again, divine intervention was like, yeah, you're gonna have to take some time. So every healer I worked with just allowed me to heal myself. And the healing got deeper and deeper, from forgiveness coaching to energy healing to chakra aligning to Reiki to all the meridians and I've never talking to angels, like didn't know what these things were at all prior to. And now I'm a different human being. I'm a different business owner. I'm a different level of ambition. I have a whole different view of what success looks like, what it means, what it feels like, what it sounds like. I don't rush into things. I take 90-minute walks every single morning, and I don't work on weekends. I just don't hustle and grind like I used to, but I'm still in the game at a really high level.
Yeah.
wonderful. That's what Ernie and I were kind of chatting about earlier this morning. We were talking about different things that's going on with the Leader's Edge and different opportunities, different guests, different things like that. And what you're saying to us and what we're hearing and what I'm hearing is you're not chasing it.
No.
You're attracting it. It's
Yes.
coming to you. So when we chase, that's scarcity mindset. But
Right.
when we attract it, that's abundance mindset.
Yeah.
So can you explain to us a little bit about what it means to attract it? Because a lot of people that, they know that does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you so much for conveying that and saying that, because I agree. I think when you're in your younger years, like in your 20s, right? Chasing is like part of the game. You want to do it,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
It's like, oh yeah, I've got all this energy, but as you get older, you get wiser and you think like there's a better way to handle this and to do this.
Yeah.
And I went to an event one time and the gentleman said, hey, I need you all to write, and excuse my language again, a butt puckering goal.
Mhm.
Like I need you guys to like, this is hard, like you're clenching.
Yeah.
And make it big, make it audacious. And
Mhm.
I'm thinking like, okay, yeah, let's do this. And he goes, and when we come back again tomorrow, we'll talk about it. And I'm
This cliffhangers were like
Ow!
okay,
Oh,
let's go ahead and take over. So you were talking about we don't chase, we attract.
Yeah.
In your own perspective, partner, how does that look like for you?
Well, I mean, it's kind of what Wonderful was saying, when we were talking about this morning is oftentimes we have this idea, we want to reach this goal, we want to make this happen. And when we want to make it happen, we chase it. We just run after it really, really hard. Now, it's like she said, when we were younger, I didn't really have a mindset for that. I just went after it, just started running after it and chasing it. I think what I've learned now is that not to chase it, but to allow it to just flow into my life versus and attracting it, right? Because I think that, and you can add on to this, Ernie, but I think chasing is more of a scarcity mindset of I've got to have it, I got to have it. And when you say I've got to have it and I need to have it, there's that sense of scarcity, sense of lack, right? And
yes,
I don't want
I
that.
agree.
I don't want that part. We have her back. Oh, we have her back. Yes.
I think the intention of the show is to cliffhang every single
that's
time.
what I said. The cliffhangers are like hanging me.
So we were talking about that.
God.
We were talking about that part of chasing it and attracting just a second ago.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So tell us, you said you think young people run after it more.
So I go to, so we write this goal, this audacious goal, and the next day we meet and we're excited, right? We don't share with each other what our butt puckering goals are, but we all have it. And we get in the circle and we're just waiting for him to ask us, like, what is it, right? And he asks us, so do you guys all have your goals? And we're like, yes, absolutely. I'm just dying to share it. And he said, great, look at it and make sure that it makes kind of your heart race. And I'm like, absolutely, I'm in. And he said, now, who do you have to be to get that?
Yes.
And I just was like, what are you, we're not going to talk about this. We're going to you're just going to ask me who I have to be. And now, mind you, in that time when I got that, it wasn't about, I was a doer. I was like, I'm ready to plan this out and put it all together. And when he asked, who do you have to be? I thought I didn't understand the question. What do you mean be? What is this being thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. She froze up again.
What is this being thing?
I really think I know where she's going with this, because oftentimes, Ernie, see, everything that we really need in our life is already within us. It's already within us. I attract what I am, not what I want. And so this thing to be, what is it that what do you want to become? What is it you want to be?
Yes.
And I think
it definitely does. And it's one of the growth that needs to take place, right? We all want the results. We all want to achieve something. But at the same time, in order to get there, you have to be in the same level of mindset, level of growth in order to be that person. Because as you elevate in life, the problems are bigger as well.
Exactly.
And being able to manage the stress, the fears, because I think I've shared this before. Just because you've worked on yourself does not mean that you will not have any more fears. Fears will always be there, and it will always be bigger than it was before.
That's
As a
right.
matter of how you are able to manage those fears, those struggles, those adversities that will take place, because it's not if, it's when those struggles takes place. How will you be able to manage it? So being that person who's able to handle it is definitely a huge plus. Now we're back with
We're
Wonderful.
back. Yes. Back.
I love how you both seamlessly keep the flow going as my,
Yes,
and this doesn't, it's just today.
Yeah.
It's just today's show.
you're
So maybe
completely
it's
fine.
the thing.
It's fine. Perfectly
Yeah.
fine.
And you know, when I went through this whole, I don't even know what being is, being
Yes.
just meant for me was why I think healers came into my life. Why coaches
yes.
came
I
into my
agree.
life.
I agree.
Because I needed to learn how to be from the inside out versus the outside, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
learning how to be me is actually more power. I am more powerful today.
Yes.
And I see that what I thought was going to kill me moment when that bank account closed and we couldn't get into there, I see it now as a gift. It's no longer the most painful experience I've ever had. It's actually a gift now, because I don't think I would be the version of me had that not
Yeah.
happened.
Can I ask you
Yeah.
a question? Wonderful.
Yeah.
Are you actually in a place in your life where you're grateful for what
Oh.
happened that day?
Every morning when I do my 90-minute walk, I spend a lot of times crying in the woods. I'm with the trees and I'm just crying because I'm like, what a life I get to live.
Yeah.
What a place I get to be in. Now, nothing has changed. I'm still like, right? I'm probably getting out of the bottom of the financial food chain, but it's not like all of a sudden it came back. All of it came back. But who I am, I look at the world now and I see, like, I'm so grateful to be here. I'm grateful to have a conversation with you. I'm grateful for what you do, that what the two of you share out into the world. My gratitude is beyond what writing it down in a journal.
I understand.
Not that that's a bad thing, but I did that to try to convince myself to be grateful.
Yes.
I don't.
Yes.
I just know it. I'm just being grateful versus
gratitude. Gratitude puts you at the highest level of vibration in your life that you can be at. And when you are there, that's when things begin to happen. That's when
That's probably why my internet's going nuts, because my gratitude level's on high today.
You're
can't keep up with it.
Love
For
it,
sure.
I know we only have a few minutes, actually a minute before commercial, Wonderful. But I know within that journey, there are things that you have learned along the way. Would you mind sharing one of them, and then we'll carry it through the next segment?
Oh my gosh. One of the lessons is to be still. And oh my gosh, to be still and to be quiet and to just shut the up.
Go ahead.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
What does that look like in your own definition? What does being still look like?
So in the beginning, like I was mentioning, just I need to give a backstory that I'm a doer. Like I pace. I'm not the kind that sits still when I'm worried. I pace. I was a martial artist for a long time. That's what our business was. And in our garage, there is bags and, all kinds of fight equipments. Like that's how I need to physically, everything is very visceral for me. And being still to a visceral human, that is really, really difficult. But I think that's how, that saying, iron sharpens iron. I think that's what it's meant for. I think the sharpening isn't in the thing you think that you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right. I think the sharpening is becoming the thing you already always were. To take a moment to like be within myself. I think that my warriorness was never because I could wield a sword or that my leg could kick your face, or I have quick reflexes. I think the warriorness was always to be still and take a breath.
Yeah.
Very like, Kung Fu theater style. Like I got to be in the cave, and I knew that. I just didn't want to do it. I don't want to have to take time. I don't want to be still. I don't want to meditate. What's that about?
Yeah. Exactly.
Don't get me started on meditation, because I'll share my story on meditation. But we will need to take a quick break. Wonderful just shared the second part of her story, which is basically getting more sick and then diving into new business endeavors, getting into fields that she thought she could never be a part of, but now is thriving in it, and shared one tool, which is being still. When we return, we will go over a couple more tools, but we will be right back to the Leader's Edge.
Are you ready to elevate your organization with a team of transformational leaders? Do you want to attract and nurture top talent while enhancing communication and productivity across generations? Hi, I'm Steve Steele, co-host of The Leader's Edge, and your coach with the Maxwell Leadership Team. My program equips leaders with essential skills and resources to lead, coach, and communicate effectively, ensuring everyone thrives. With tailored insights and proven strategies, I'm here to help your entire organization succeed. So reach out today at growthinleadership@gmail.com or visit johncmaxwellgroup.com/Steve Steele.
Do you ever find yourself battle with self-doubt? Or struggle with trusting in yourself? Or wishing that you have more self-confidence to go after what you truly want? My name is Ernalita Dacumos, and I know what it feels like to shrink, second guess, and silence yourself. But I also know that you don't have to stay there. You have the power within you to rise, own your story, and step into the confident version of yourself. Through Confidently You LLC, I help women just like you break free from self-doubt and build the courage to thrive in both life and leadership. Together, we will uncover strategies, tools, and mindset shifts to transform the way you see yourself. And if you're ready to stop shrinking and start shining, I would love to help you. Visit me today at confidentlyu.club. Because I am a firm believer that confidence isn't just for some people, it is for you.
Hey everyone, welcome back to The Leader's Edge. I'm Steve Steele with my co-host Ernalita Dacumos and our special guest today, Wonderful Morrison. Wow. Wonderful.
She froze again.
She froze again? Okay. All right, she'll come back. I know she will. She'll
come back. So
Ernie,
back.
we talked about that first tool she gave was to be still. And I just want to make a comment about that because I think, and there's another thing that she made that I thought was really, really important. And she said she was figuring out at that point that she was everything that she needed. She was already there. It was already within her. And she was learning that part of it, and learning that. And which brings me to the point of, I really believe that if we say this to ourselves, I think it's so important that I am enough exactly the way I am right now. And oftentimes people think they're not worthy of it, but we are enough exactly the way we are right now. And taking those moments of solitude, taking those moments of just being still is so important in our lives. There she is. We were wonderful. We were just reviewing about the first tool being quiet,
still,
being in a moment, being still within our lives, right? What are some other tools that you can share with us? Wonderful.
I was thinking, I'm in my midlife, y'all, and I had a brain freeze. I'm feeling like the same space as I am in my internet space. I'm like, wait, what were the other two tools I was talking about? Oh my gosh, thank you. So okay, so I have it now.
Yeah.
To me, when I learned to be still, it was a real deep dive into knowing myself. Now, I know that sounds crazy because I'm 50 years old. It's like, of course you should know yourself. You've lived, all these decades,
Yeah.
but we don't. We don't
Right.
know because
That's
we
right.
evolve and we change and we shift and life happens. And, when I went through that giant heartbreak,
Mm.
I didn't realize how sad I'd be. Like I was depressed, I was sad, I felt ripped away from something, and then it triggered these things called abandonment issues, which I didn't even know I had. Okay. I
Yes.
didn't know I had
Mhm.
until I started working with coaches and we started going through some dark nights of the soul crevices of my life. And I was like,
Mhm.
if somebody had asked me at the time, well, what do you want to do? I wouldn't have been able to answer it, which was never a hard question for me to answer. I was always able to be like, I know what I want because I was always 3 steps ahead in my life. But
Yeah.
being still, you have to know yourself enough to have that kind of what I think I was living off of was fake confidence.
Mm.
Fake confidence.
Fake confidence.
So Ernie,
It-
you're the confident leader here. So what do you think she means by fake confidence?
Fake confidence. There's a quote that actually fake it till you make it.
Yep.
Right. And I think that's what she meant. It's more so, okay, it's all so I teach that I've learned from Mel Robbins, confidence is really a skill. It's something that you can hone, develop, and learn. And it's not really showing up courageous and have everything
Right.
figured out. It's
Right.
like having the courage to actually show up and do it, right? So that's
Yeah.
what confidence is. Kind of an equivalent of fake confidence, but you develop the confidence eventually. And Wonderful is back.
Yeah.
I love that that the show's always says, and she's back. Yeah, I think, well, and I want to reiterate that fake isn't necessarily a bad word, right? It was
Yes.
to me, it was more of like, I think I was living off of the energy of hustle, like just moving, doing constantly.
Yes.
And, I didn't really have a strong awareness of my internal self. I just knew how to intellectually and academically bring things into the fold. But if you were to ask me, like how I felt about certain things, I could tell you very basic feelings: sad, glad, happy. I didn't know how to get into depth. Authenticity is just a whole different ballgame of the way we live. So yeah,
this reminds me of the movie Inside Out. The first movie was just happy, sad, and then the second movie was like a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
Okay, so going with the tools, what's the third tool?
That again, at ambitious people, driven people, motivated people in general, 8 billion people out there in the world are tunnel vision because we think we can do all things just by ourselves.
Yes, siloed.
Yeah, yes. and somehow, because we have survived so long thinking that way, behaving that way, making choices that way, that when you have to kind of spread yourself around to exploring feelings, I did not know how to do it by myself. I was really struggling with forgiveness. Like the feelings of forgiveness was almost like being on some sort of drug, right? It felt out of like uncomfortable. It was such a discomfort. So I needed to I had to talk to my husband about my feelings, which, oh my gosh. Right. And which is interesting because he's the closest person to me. We've known each other since we were 18 years old. Like we grew up together, but it wasn't comfortable to share those feelings. And then with coaches, with therapists, with all the healers, and healers have a way of looking into your eyes.
Yes.
And then I did the looking into direct eye contact.
It's uncomfortable.
The first time I ever did it, I was like, I need to blink right now because this
Yeah.
is not fun.
Very uncomfortable.
Now I can do it without breaking a sweat, but for a while it was not an easy thing because looking into somebody's eyes is looking at yourself, and
Mm.
that was not easy. So through this internal ethereal spiritual journey of being still, getting to know myself, and then including people I can trust in this space. Trust has been, I think, the greatest lesson of all, is to trust in myself, and to trust that everything that's happening is for me, not against me.
Absolutely. I absolutely love that. Wonderful. I think one of the things too that I had to learn through this process was I needed to learn to release. I release all the need to control outcomes.
Oh,
that makes sense. And just trust the process of life, trust the process of God, the universe, or however you want to put it, the higher calling in your life or whatever it is. Trust that and not control it. Because it became, for me, it became a moment of obedience versus trust.
Yes.
Because once I said, okay, I'm going to trust, then I have to, the obedience comes in, right? Are you really going to do it?
Right.
That's
my gosh.
And then that's when the faith comes in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And having that faith that it's going to work out no matter what, and not control the outcome. Because I have a tendency to put my arms around the neck and want to strangle it, to make it work, work.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Us
Can
controllers
totally
seem to
relate.
find each other.
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and take a control on this. Thank you so much for today's teaching. Wonderful. I'm sure our listeners and viewers are itching to know, what are you currently working on and how can people connect with you?
No, I'm kidding. I was like, no, I'm still hiding out. Well,
no more alcohols, no more,
right?
sulking.
Oh, that never panned out, by the way. That lasted maybe a week. It never worked out for me. The next things I'm doing is, I took a break from my business last year to really do a deep dive within myself. And so now I am creating. Just in January, we started a new business, Lead Her strategy, and it is 100% to help healers and coaches and wellness practitioners, evolve their message from blending in with everybody else to really standing out. And how do you stand out is from your lived experience.
Yeah,
I mean, there's so much noise in the world, and the only way you know how you can speak to that realm that no one can see is to be able to say it in a way that only you can say it, because only you have that energy to bring it to light. And you can reach me via Instagram. My name is pretty unique, so if you just typed in Wonderful, I would pop up in all the things. But I'm most active in Instagram and in Facebook, because that's how I keep up with all my family members from across the pond. And then I have a little bit of a LinkedIn, but not quite as active in there. And I can't even come near TikTok. Like I cannot. So Instagram's the best place to find me. And again, it's just under my name, my birth name, not my stage name. Wonderful.
Thank you, Wonderful, so much for today. Hey, Ernalita, guess what? I have an announcement to make, a real special announcement to share. This December, we're flying to the Philippines for Christmas for the Natives. A beautiful traditional bringing of joy to the Ada children of Aram. And
yes, partner.
Can't wait to go.
I agree.
My gosh.
Yes, he's going to the Philippines with me. I'm taking him.
Yes.
And Christmas for the natives is actually, it started with just a few gifts for 50 kids, which has grown into celebration of hundreds. This year, we're planning to celebrate 900 kids Well, we'll be there in person, partner to deliver shoes, toys, and food packs, and most importantly, love and laughter.
Absolutely. And if you'd like to
Wow.
support this mission, you can find the donation link in the show description or reach out to Ernalita directly at 707 759 8860. 707 759 8860.
Yes, and every act of kindness counts. Thank you in advance for helping us make this Christmas unforgettable.
Ernalita and the 216 team, I'm not going to be there next week. Sorry, guys. But we have our guest host, Dr. Bryn Dombrowski, is going to join Ernie for a powerful episode with Cosimo Intermi, U.S. co-founder and CEO of Genius in 21 Days LLC. He's going to reveal, listen to this, what no one told you about your brain. Don't miss this mind-blowing conversation on the Leader's Edge. And it's always wonderful. You were amazing. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for allowing me to share my story in such a beautiful way, because I was probably really nervous. That's why I think my
Oh,
interview
You
was
didn't.
bad.
You didn't. You did not look nervous at all.
Not at all. You were beautiful. Just beautiful.
And
Well, thank
ju-
you so much.
Yes, thank you again. Wonderful. And just a reminder, you can find the Leader's Edge on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, and iHeartRadio. And if you find value in these conversations, please subscribe or follow to stay connected, or share it with your loved ones. We wanted to say thank you to all of our listeners and friends, because without you, the Leader's Edge would not be possible. We're excited to have you here, but we're more excited to connect with you next time. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.